Welcome to your first IELTS General Writing lesson, where we'll go through an introduction and an overview of writing Task 1 for IELTS General, which is, of course, letter writing. Now, a lot of students get very worried about the writing task. It's a real point of stress for many students. What I'd first like to say is work your way slowly through the course, watch all the videos, repeat lessons, and I'm sure you will build your confidence and writing skills. So let's just do a little comparison between the academic and general so that we have more of a solid understanding of the IELTS test overall. Some things are different, some things are the same, but basically, Task 1 is different. So IELTS Academic Task 1 is 150 words or more report on visual information. What visual information means is bar charts, tables, graphs, pie charts, all these kinds of things. It can even be diagrams or maps sometimes. But generally speaking, when we talk about IELTS Academic Task 1, we're talking about those bar charts, graphs, line graphs, these kinds of things. Now, what we do for IELTS Academic is we use language to report data and trends over a period of time. And often people feel that the academic writing Task 1 test is a bit more tricky than IELTS General. And I might agree with that in some respects. Okay, moving on to IELTS General Task 1. You'll write a 150 word or more letter replying to a person, explaining a situation or similar. It might be someone that you know. So in the question, it might be someone that you know, or it might be someone you don't know. Okay, so Task 2 for writing is the same. So when it comes to writing, the only difference between the tests is Task 1, whereas for Task 2, it's basically essay, writing on a range of topics. 250 words. So this is a longer piece of writing than Task 1. And yeah, essay writing on a range of topics. You might be writing a balanced argument, exploring the advantages and disadvantages of something, or possibly talking about a problem and giving solutions. These common topics are things like the environment, fashion, general topics of interest. And of course, we have all the Task 2 lessons here in IELTS 7+. But this section is just for you because we'll be focusing on IELTS General Writing. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper into Task 1 now. So, as I said, you'll be writing a letter for a range of different situations and scenarios. And I'll go through a lot of different kinds of questions and situations that you might be letter writing for in this course. But your letter will either be formal, so for letters written to a person you don't know, must use higher formal tone for this type, so more respectful, more formal language. Or your letter could be more informal. This would be to a person that you know. You may use more relaxed language, things like collocations, contractions, abbreviations, some small types of slang, but you need to be careful not to overdo it with slang. But informal, more relaxed. And it's important that you know which one. Using the incorrect tone in your letter can be very costly to your overall success. So if you are writing in an informal tone to a person that you don't know that really needs to be a lot more formal, it's going to cost you marks. So we'll go through this more. You'll either really select formal or more informal for your letter writing tone. Okay, let's move on. Here is some key information for IELTS Writing Task 1. A word count of 150 words or more. A lot of students get worried about this and start counting everything, which wastes quite a lot of time. Really, you want to be aiming for something, say, between 160, 170 to around 190 possibly. That kind of mark. When I do my writing, I tend to be over 160 for Task 1, both academic and general. But as long as you're over 150 and you cover lots of information and use lots of great language, that will be fine. However, don't count the words. You'll know as you practice more questions when you are over 150 words. You can just take a look at your writing and be like, yep, that's probably around 170, 180, which is a good target to have. Okay, so this is more of a recommendation. Some teachers kind of just say you can do this if you want. I'm a little bit more stronger on this, that I really would aim to finish writing within 20 minutes. That's everything. You get your question for the letter, and within 20 minutes, as soon as you receive it, you've finished. Now, the reason for that is because task 1 is only 33% of the mark, roughly. And then, of course, the other sort of 66.6666 is task 2. We have 1 hour for our IELTS writing test. So just going on the general scoring, task 1 gets 20 minutes, task 2 gets 40 minutes. I really would try and stick to this. So when you begin practicing later on, after we've gone a bit further through the course, I would be using a stopwatch or some sort of timer in order to help you stick to this 20-minute rule. Okay, so that really brings us to the end of this sort of introductory overview lesson for IELTS General Writing Task 1. We've given you all the information really to get us going. So we're going to be practicing writing letters. We'll go through loads of different language that you can use. We'll think about how we're scored and lots of tips and tricks throughout the course. And I'll see you in the next lesson.